Hey guys. So today we're going to talk about Excel. And I don't know about you, but I'm in Excel all the time. And I've learned a bunch of tips over the years, and I thought I would share them with you as I was working with this document. I thought, well, it may be something that you guys come across too. And for those of us that are in multiple groups, which I'm sure a lot of you probably are, you may want to get a better understanding as to which groups are getting you the most traffic and qualified leads, and keep track of your conversations as far as the volume of comments that you get, anything that converts for you. So I'm going to walk through a few things today in this Excel doc. You can do this also in Google Sheets. I prefer Excel, I use them both. But for this instance, I find it's easier because we're actually going to talk about pivot tables, and I find they work a little bit easier in Excel. So for starters, we're going to take a look at this document, and as you can see, the columns are not expanded properly, and there's a very quick and easy trick to do this. So if you just click in this corner here, you'll highlight all of the columns and all of the rows, and then if you double click on any of these resizing bars here, it'll expand all of your columns to the right width. Okay, so just a couple hacks and tips that we're going to walk through today. So the next thing we want to talk about is filters. So if you come here and you click on any of your headings and you click on filter, it's going to give you the option to create filters. Okay, and with this, you can actually sort by any column that you want. You can choose it, ascending, descending, etc. And you can come here, say sort by number, right? We'll go ascending, or sort by copy for the post. We're going to say ascending, right? So it alphabetizes it for me. But that is also an option, or by date, right? And you can also do conditional formatting. So if you want to say all the posts that have, we'll say over 100 comments, you can come in here under the Home tab, you click Conditional Formatting, and you can do all sorts of things based off of, different bars, color scales, etc. If you do color scales, and I've selected this whole column, it will highlight them, as far as highest to lowest. But right now, I just want to create a new rule that would be highlight cells greater than, and we're going to say greater than 100, and we want it to be green. Okay, and these are presets. So everything above, greater than, or equal to 100 is going to be green. Okay, and that would be highlighted here, which you can see that. Okay. And ultimately what I want to do is I want to group these into totals and see the sum of total comments per group, total comments per day, and total comments per post. And that's what I'm trying to get after. So that's why I thought it'd be cool if we talked through today. So I'm going to undo and get rid of my conditional formatting because really I don't need that. Just wanted to show that to you. But what we're going to do is come up here and do insert pivot table. And these can be scary if you haven't played with them much before. It took me a while to kind of get the hang of them. I use them all the time now for lots and lots of different uses. So again, that's why I thought it might be helpful for you guys today. But you can choose any range. And right now it's selected all of my data. If I want to go different data set or a partial data set, I can just highlight. Or if I want to make sure I've got all of my columns, like if I'm going to be adding more data in the future and I don't want to leave anything out, you can just grab the column headings and you'll see everything on this sheet that's in column A all the way through column E. And I hit enter, and now it's selected that for me. And I want to place the pivot table on the new worksheet, which it does that by default. And I'm going to say okay. All right. So at this point, I have nothing here, right? It's empty. But if you look over here on the right side, you'll see pivot table fields, and this is where the magic happens. So if I come over here and I have my fields that are in my data set, I have 4 blocks here. One is for filters, one is for columns, one is for rows, and one is for values. Okay. And the first one we're going to do is total per group. And to do that, I'm going to grab the group And I'm going to put that and drag and drop it into my rows. And now it takes all of my groups from the other sheet and it puts them right here. And I have no numbers here. I just have my groups, okay? But what I want to do next is grab the comments and drag it over here to values. And it's going to sum up all of the comments in each group. Now, I just have generic group A through H through I right now, but ultimately this would be the groups that you're in. And it would total up. You could see how many groups, how many comments you're getting per group for your posts in particular. If you're writing these things down and keeping track of them, that's what feeds your data. But then you'll get a nice summary to say, okay, which of these groups is giving me the most engagement? Oh, it's starting to become pretty clear, right? And if I want to sort it, I can come here by group and I can sort it by group, but ultimately I want to sort it by comments in this instance. So if I sort it by comments, ascending, actually I want descending, it'll tell me that group A gives me the most engagement, followed by group C, group G, and group F. So I can see, okay, these are the groups for the content that I'm putting out. These are the groups that are giving me the most engagement. And so these are the ones that I want to focus on and put more of my effort into, right? So that will give me the total comments per group. And again, I can sort it by number of comments. I can sort it by group, whatever makes sense to me as far as, you know, what questions I'm trying to answer. Now this is tiny, so I'm going to make it a little bigger. And again, if I just select everything and I double click my resizer here, it will resize it automatically for me. Okay. So that's instance number one. Now say I want to change this and I want, you know what, I want total by day. So instead of having the group over here in the rows, I'm going to unclick it. And now I just have a total of comments. I'm going to take the date and I'm going to drag and drop that into the rows. And now what that gives me is a breakdown per day, how many comments I got. And it will group it for me by month also. And these are the blanks. So I want to, in this instance, I want to exclude blanks. I'm going to exclude that. Exclude that. And then I come back and now it's clean, right? So if I want to sort, again, I can come back in here and I can sort by sum of comments, see which day gives me the most, etc. But this will total it up for me really nicely. And then the third thing I wanted to look at was, I don't want to look at date, for example. I want to see which copy, which comment actually gave me the most engagement. So if we flip back to my original data set, you can see that I've used the same comment a couple different times. And I'm curious that per the comment, which one gives me the most engagement. So I'm going to come back here to my pivot table. And I'm going to drag the comments, the copy into the rows. And this will now total up for each of those comments. It's going to tell me how many comments I got for when I posted this, for example, I got 3. When I posted this, I got 160, right? So this is giving me a very clear picture of how much engagement I get per comment or per post that I'm doing. And if I want to get a little more fancy, I can actually I can nest things and take the group and add it here too. And it's going to tell me, okay, I posted this comment in these 2 groups. One time I got 47 comments, one time I got 36 comments, and it'll still give me the grand total of 83 comments, right? Or if I want to change the order, just swap them and it'll say per group which comments that I posted and the total responses that I got. So pivot tables are really powerful. They're a lot of fun to use if you're a data geek like me. It will give you a lot of really good insights very quickly, and they're very flexible. And as I come back here, say add more data to my table. I'm going to say this one was 200, 400, 1800, and 1500, right? Now I'm just making up numbers. But if I come back here, nothing changed, right? To get my new data set, I just have to right click anywhere, or on my mouse, I'm double clicking. And I click refresh, and it will pull the latest data set from my other tab. And now you can see the new numbers that I punched into my data set are right here, right? So I hope this was helpful. Leave a comment below if you found this helpful. Anything else you want to see in Excel or any other tips that you want to see, just let me know and I'd be happy to show them to you. All right, guys, talk to you soon.